I'm sorry, could you just define again what you mean by heavy lifting on the front end when you were talking about Rhode Island, what that term means?
What that term means to me is, Ward 5 is the sum of all its parts. And one thing I want to do as a council member is to pull leaders, residents, whoever is interested from every neighborhood in Ward 5 to sit on kind of an advisory council to look at issues that affect, they might affect one neighborhood, but they have ancillary effects on other neighborhoods too. So having that input from everybody in the ward, Ward 5 is more than just one neighborhood here or there. It's the whole ward from Florida Avenue all the way to the Maryland line and east and west, north and south, and we all have to live together and deal with the consequences of projects and programs that affect the whole ward. So it's really engagement of every different part of the ward.
Just to follow up to what he said, you also threw out the term neighborhood development.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and me may have two different definitions of neighborhood development. What is neighborhood development to you?
To me, and we have an agency that does some affordable housing development, some neighborhood development. It's developing commercial space, but then it's also community facilities. It's making sure that mix of things fits together and meshes together well. So it's making sure that we have overlays and we have small area plans, that things that come to the different sections of the ward actually fit together.
Anybody outside? Mr. Hall.
The little paper I gave to each of the candidates, can you go down a quick yes or no on those?
Just so I know what's on the paper.
Oh, you want a copy?
No, I would like to know, can we get a direct question? I mean,
Well,
I don't think it's beneficial if they just go yes or no down a piece of paper without the audience knowing the question.
Okay, here you go. Yes or no, term limits?
Based on the referendum that's passed before, if that goes back into place, I support it.
Okay. Reduce council salaries and tie the raises to the cost of living.
Yes.
Take all development to existing community organizations. In other words, don't go through office of planning, but bring all ideas to the civic association and the ANC.
Yes,
For our approved.
it's already the law, so yes, we should be doing that.
Number 4 is reverse mayoral control of schools and reinstate elected school board.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the first elected bodies we had, and I think we should go back to that, having elected and a school board that actually does, the policy direction for the schools.
Stop the public school from being destroyed, basically. Prevent closing, reopen closed schools, increase vocational ed, and stop conversion of public schools to charter schools.
Yes.
Is that it?
Increase jobs, housing for homeless, poor, and low-income residents.
Absolutely.
I think it might have been one I missed, but, talk to all the education organizations that are already trying to reform the schools and consult with them rather than outside consultants from New York or someplace.
Yeah, we have talent right here in the ward, right here in the city that can help us get this thing done. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Not the first.
Good. I've been here, well, this is my second go around in DC, and now that I'm a homeowner for about 8 years, and I keep hearing this affordable housing comment come up. For someone who is not from the district to have an education here in the district, buy a home, can you define really when you're talking about affordable housing? I mean, how do you push individuals to, especially in the household, to look at life better than saying, oh, you can wait until an affordable housing project open and apply it and become part of the list?
That's the problem with affordable housing. There is no one definition of it, and we don't do a good job with that. One of the things I've pushed over the years is that DC needs a comprehensive housing strategy. We've never had that, so we don't know over here what we need, whether it's shelter housing right up to affordable homeownership. We've never done that study. It's happening now, based on some work I did. The closest thing I can give you is a definition of affordable housing. Since a lot of our affordable housing money comes from the federal government, we're bound by their standards, and we're bound by something called the area median income. Now, I won't get too technical about it, but that takes into account DC, what people make in DC, but it also takes into account what people make in Loudoun, Fairfax, Montgomery County, and skews that number way up. And you know, if our area median is actually around 50-some thousand, the actual AMI is around 100,000. So when we're building affordable housing based on $100,000 as a base income, it's automatically wrong, and we have to deal with that. So we have more flexibility in the local dollars that we have, but we are a little bit bound by the federal government with our federal dollars.
Any other questions? I have two more for you. You know, we know why we're here. You know, what the former council member did. Why should Ward 5 trust you? And one of the reasons why I'm asking you this in particular is you worked amongst most of these people for a while, 7 years. That's a lot of time to spend down at the council building. You know, what makes you different from them, and why should Ward 5 trust you as the next council member?
Sure. Ethics is number one on everyone's mind, and it should be. Our city and our government is based on public trust. If you can't trust that we're going to be honest to handle your money that you've given us, then we shouldn't be there. I've been down there, I've been around, like I said, billions of dollars, literally, and have never had any kind of problem. I never plan to. I'm a God-fearing person, church-going person. It's against my personal moral code. Ever take $1 that I didn't earn. And I would never, I pledge to, I will never take $1 that's not mine, ever.
Great, thanks a lot. We're gonna
Could
come
I
back
ask
to
one more question? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I want to follow up on that. What you personally do is something, but it's also your job to hold the other members of the council accountable.
Sure.
Some of the members of the council are currently being investigated for one or another ethical violations. For instance, Councilmember Berry has been accused of that. Could you describe your relationship with him? Would you hold him accountable? Or would your friendship with him get in the way? Would you describe yourself as having a friendship?
I have a professional relationship with him, having worked for him. Anybody that breaks the rules, whether I work for them or not, needs to be held accountable. And one of the things about being a public servant and having a public trust is if you see something, say something. So that's the bottom line for me. If it's something wrong happening, I'm going to say something about it immediately.